So what's the first thing you think of when you hear Mario? Is it running, jumping, animal rights? Well, okay, what's the second thing you think of when you think of Mario? Well, for most people, including myself, it's kart racing, and for good reason. See, Mario Kart isn't too weird of an idea for us now, but back when it released, I can only imagine what being a Nintendo fan was like. I would ask them, but, you know. I'm kidding. For now. Now, coming up with ideas I want to do videos on is kinda hard. Usually I have the next video planned while I'm working on the current one, but that wasn't the case this time, so trapped in a corner and not wanting a huge gap in videos, fucked that one up. I thought to myself, hey, doing a video on Mario Kart wouldn't be so bad, but it soon dawned on me that there are in fact 8 Mario Kart games. Pussy! That matter. So I spent an entire morning setting up 7 emulators and reveling in the fact that I finally have a use for my Epic Gamer Elgato capture card. Now I played these games in chronological order, so I got to see what kind of fun stuff Nintendo added, and what kind of fun stuff they decided to get rid of. Now that I'm an expert on Mario Kart, I think it's finally time that I talk about the damn things. Everyone knows the universe was born when Super Mario Kart came onto the Super Nintendo in 1992. Now one of the first things you'll notice is that even if there's only one player, the game is always split screen. Always. And if you're lonely like me and don't have any friends that want to help you record Mario Kart at 1 in the morning, that second screen serves as a map. As far as visuals and gameplay goes, it's exactly as you remember Mario Kart, just ever so slightly worse. The cast is filled to the brim with awesome characters like Mario and Toad and Donkey Kong Jr. And it's filled with awesome items like mushroom, shell, and coin. Oh yeah, and you can also strike down your friends with the power of Zeus. This game controls using the D-pad. Now you see, the D-pad is usually the best way to play these older games, but for some reason, this game just feels really slippery, and the blame for that can be placed directly onto the power slide. That's right, instead of getting an actual drift in this game, you get this limp soy boy drift that honestly just makes the turning feel way more sloppy. Since the franchise is called Mario Kart, it only makes sense that I played as Luigi. I really hope he says fuck in this one. Who in this game seems to have a tad bit of a drinking problem. Also, the CPUs love to cheat, like, more than that one guy from that one meme format, you know the one I'm talking about, right? Also, I don't know if it's just my bad luck or my lack of gamer skill, but I've had to play on 50cc to get gameplay that made me actually look good, and that's just because I'm super cool. What if you said, screw racing, I just want to be a dick? Well, Super Mario Kart has the very thing for you. In battle mode, your primary objective is to destroy anything and anything with a pulse by popping all their balloons. And once you're finished being an asshole, you win! Other than Luigi's alcoholism, this game does a great job at setting the standard for all future Mario Kart games. Honestly, they don't really change much from this point onwards. So how do you make Mario Kart better? Well, you take that game, you stretch it a little bit, and boom, you make it 3D. That's right, Mario Kart 64 has a whole nother dimension to Mario Kart. Kinda. The first big improvement is that you get to control the game with a control stick, and you get a drift. It's still kinda bad, but it's better than nothing. As for playable characters, they remain mostly the same, with Turtle being removed and replaced with Fat Mario, and Donkey Kong Jr. grew up. I'm kidding, I know Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong are 2 different characters, don't kill me, I swear I'm not stupid. As for new items, we have multiples of the mushrooms, bananas, and shells, as well as the golden mushroom, and the bane of everyone's existence. Also, the items are thrown with the C buttons, but since I was playing on an emulator and don't have an N64 controller, I don't really know how well they work. Other than control upgrades and a few new items, the game has remained mostly the same, which is fine, don't fix what isn't broken. To this day, people will sit down and play 64 with their friends, and many claim for it to be the purest and best form of Mario Kart. Are they wrong? Yes. Don't get me wrong, the game's still really fun, but I feel it's a little too simple. I don't think it adds too much from the first game, and honestly, it feels kinda more like an enhanced port of that game. Also, they treated Luigi's alcoholism, and I mean, like, good for him, but come on, Nintendo, what's a Mario Kart game without Luigi being a terrible example for young, impressionable kids? On the bright side, the game looks nice. It's not like they'd ever make a Mario Kart game look worse, right? Right? Fuck, I spoke too soon. Yada yada, console limitation, yada yada. Christ, what is this thing? Okay, look, I get it. The GBA can't do 3D. Fine, so why put Mario Kart on it? I mean, look at it! Look at it! I think I'm gonna become more blind than I already am looking at this thing. In all seriousness, this game's existence still baffles me. They were going in such a great direction with 64, and thought for its follow-up, they would just, essentially, port the first game onto the GBA. I'm not kidding either. All, and I mean all of the courses from Super Mario Kart are playable in this game. In future games, this courses would be called retro tracks. But for right now, they're kind of like that girl in your class that really likes horses. Extra. Now, as I kind of implied a second ago, this game looks and controls very similarly to Super Mario Kart, but with the characters and items of Mario Kart 64, which means we get the limp dick power slide again. Whoa! Of course, this is Mario Kart we're talking about, so other than visuals, it still plays nice and has that neat Mario Kart charm. What upsets me most about this entry is that Nintendo brought back the power slide from Super Mario Kart, but not Luigi's alcoholism. I don't know what to say other than do better, Nintendo. Alcoholics deserve representation too. Now, I'm still pretty conflicted on this thing existing, so let's do a quick pros and cons. Pros, it's portable. If you want to play video games at Grandma's funeral, go for it. Cons, it burns! If you want to join Grandma in her coffin by looking at this thing, go for it. Oh, that honestly made me more confused than I was before. But you know what would be funny? If they released the best game right after the worst game. That'd be funny. That'd be funny, right? That'd be super fun. Yes, I spoke too soon, but in a good way this time. Now, is it bold or original for me to say Mario Kart Double Dash is the best one? No. Am I wrong? Also no. In case you're out of the loop, the basic premise of Double Dash is this. You take a cut, and you shove another fucker in there. Now, this may sound a little bit confusing, especially since you can have two players in the same cut at the same time, but it creates such a unique and chaotic gameplay style that I'm honestly really sad not to see Nintendo explore in the future. Now, to make this chaotic gameplay style even crazier, Nintendo took one look at the items and said, make them bigger. We got classics like Big Shell, Big Egg, and Big Banana. Now, these items are called special items, and are only available when you're in certain character combinations, which this time around includes the definitely not filler characters, Total and Total but with wings. Other than weight and item pool, nothing else really changes when you pair different characters together. I was really hoping Luigi would finally say fuck after he was reminded of his horrible childhood, but since emotional manipulation didn't seem to work, I have no idea what to try next. Nintendo, being the saints they are, also added the perfect map to span these massive items, in the form of Baby Park, an oval with 7 laps. Now, this is the most chaotic fun you can have in a Mario Kart game, and to this day I will stand by that. Unsurprisingly though, it's a lot more fun when you have friends, and if you take a look around, you can see I don't have many of those. However, I swear I've played this with real people before. This game also introduces the double item box, which wouldn't reappear until 8 Deluxe. Double Dash is by far the most unique game in the series, which is why it's a lot of people's favorite. Its chaotic and frantic gameplay is what really sets it apart, and I'm still really bummed out to see Nintendo never tried something like it again. Thankfully, the game looks good again, and it's an insane upgrade from Super Circuit, which makes sense since it's on an actual home console. But I think the visuals aged really well, and the bright colors still pop. I can't believe I haven't talked about how great this game controls. Okay, so you know that feeling when you're in a dream and you know you're in a dream? So you do the only rational thing and start kicking the absolute shit out of the yellow M&M. Okay, maybe that was a tad bit too specific. All I'm trying to say is that the game controls really well. The best part is you get an actually useful drift. That's right, no more half-ass 64 drift and no more limp power slide. I can finally show how much of a sweat I am by drifting around every single corner. It helps that this game was designed to play on Nintendo's best controller. I'm not fucking with you. As weird as this thing may look, the GameCube controller is amazing. Now, at this point, the series has kind of fallen into a pattern between home console and handheld releases, which is why the next game in the series is... This one's on the DS. Mario Kart DS is one of the best uses for the DS's second screen. Remember back to the Super Nintendo when half your screen was taken up by a map? Well, this is kind of almost like that, except it's on the bottom screen and isn't horrible. The game also looks pretty good. It's in 3D instead of whatever the fuck that was, and even though the models look a little bit jank, they have that same kind of dumb charm as your one friend who unironically laughs at Reddit memes. As for new items and characters, this time around we got Dead Turtle and r.o.b. It's a little-known fact that r.o.b. was on the NES and stands for Robotic Operating Body. Now, the headlining new item this time around is the bullet, and before you assume anything about gang violence, Mario doesn't pull a gun on anyone. Yet. This basically allows the player to turn into a massive bullet bill and speed past opponents, allowing people in worse positions to catch up. Alright guys, we got some bad news. The limp power slides back, but I mean on the bright side it's only like half as shitty. Kinda like if a designer got hit by a car and then was told to program a drift when he was almost recovered. As for Luigi, he seems to be sober, but I'm not sure how well he's handling it because he's driving around in a vacuum. But I guess we all have our own coping methods. Do you know how to come up with more ideas for your game without having to think of original ideas? Well, that's easy. Steal from your past self. What are they gonna do, punch you? In this game and all future installments, this takes the form of retro tracks. And retro tracks are cool, but they didn't start being really cool until Mario Kart 8. Now, these are really just ports of older tracks made in the new engine, and honestly just feel like filler. I got to mention what really sets DS apart from the rest of the Mario Kart series. While it may not have the chaotic gameplay of Double Dash or the unique visuals of Super Circuit, it has, brace yourselves, single-player content. That's right, it caters to lonely people like myself. DS has mission mode, which is very self-explanatory, but I'll give you a quick rundown anyway. Basically, you have to complete missions like collect 15 coins or go through these 6 hoops. And after you beat a level's 8 missions, you get to fight its boss. And you're probably thinking, wow, so this is going to be some kind of standard race type thing. And for that, you're kind of right. Some bosses are in fact a standard race type thing. However, other bosses, like the first one you fight, you have to kill the boss in some way, be it either by drowning them or collecting enough coins to make them feel self-conscious. Now this feature was great, so that means Nintendo definitely kept it in future titles, right? No. I have a Wii wheel, you have a Wii wheel. There are more Wii wheels than people in the entirety of Australia. But did you know that since there was a Wii wheel bundled with every copy of Mario Kart Wii, there are millions of them that need a forever home? Please contact the number below to help this amazing cause. Now this game is probably most well known for its control scheme, that being motion controls. And for a game from 2008, they aren't that bad, but man did Jackson want to punch Mario in his nose. They also added the trick feature, in which you flick the controller up after going up ramps or jumps to gain speed, and it's just another way to show how much of an epic gamer you are to your friends. But what if you don't want to use the hyper-realistic motion controls? Well, thankfully, it has full GameCube controller compatibility, which means the game can actually control well. The only weird thing I noticed was the trick. Since the GameCube controller doesn't have motion controls, it's mapped to up on the D-pad, which is a little awkward, especially for my massive skeleton hands. I'd say Mario Kart Wii looks about just as good as Double Dash. However, for some reason, it's a lot less vibrant, and I've noticed that with a lot of Wii games, even though there are also a ton that are vibrant, so I don't know. As far as new characters go, Funky Kong, Funky Kong, Funky Kong. Surprisingly enough, there are still a bunch of people who play this game competitively. And even though servers have been long dead, players made their own and they still hold competitions for money. This game also has a huge speedrunning community, with some of the most interesting glitches I've ever seen being present in this game. Whether or not I've watched hours worth of Mario Kart Wii glitch videos and still can't perform a single trick really doesn't need to be brought up right now. When my brother and I were younger, we modded the shit out of this game. By the time we finished rubbing our little hands on it, it had over 400 courses, and we played exactly 12 of them. Now, we never really got into character modding, but by the time we were even interested in playing as Sonic Hedgehog, my mom had stopped trusting us with her laptop, which is completely fair. Eventually, I matured from modding Mario Kart onto sitting around staring at nothing, like the cool kids. Mario Kart 7! Guys, I'm freaking out, they switched the numbers, holy shit, what are we gonna do? Alright, don't kill me for this one, but I don't really like this one that much. Well, let's hear from the Mario Kart 7 fanbase. I'll apologize to all 2 of you. If I had any inspirational or interesting thoughts in this game, trust me, I would share them. But there is absolutely nothing interesting about this game whatsoever. It plays nice, it looks nice, it smells nice. What do you want me to say? It also has motion controls. Ooh! It has hang gliding. Ooh! It has first person mode. Ooh, actually that one's kinda cool. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that this game doesn't really add anything cool, like mission mode or Luigi's alcoholism. He doesn't even say fuck in this one. Oh wait, Wiggler and Queen Bee. You know, the best choice for a rep from Mario Galaxy. Queen Bee. I'd honestly go out on a limb here and say this game is just as good as Double Dash, just in a different way. You see, Double Dash was chaotic fun, while this game is perfectly polished fun. So polished, it almost gives the same amount of serotonin as slapping a bald man on the head really hard and having it make a noise. But why is this game so good? Well, it's Mario Kart as refined as it could possibly be. Tight controls, great stages, and it even has a wide variety of characters. Are they the best characters? Not really, but there's a lot of them. They even made the reused stuff interesting. The retro tracks this time around are cool and are actually modernized. The game also looks amazing, the models are great, and the colors really pop. They also brought back the coin item! I mean, who didn't want the coin item back? Speaking of modernization, this game features DLC in the form of content packs that have new characters and courses, some of which aren't from the Mario series, which makes this game as the first to feature playable characters that aren't Mario characters. The best part is if you look at Luigi's face, he constantly looks like he's about to say fuck, which is why I can say without a shadow of a doubt, in Mario Kart Kart 9, he's finally gonna say it. This is also the only game in the series to be released twice with the enhanced port Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That came along with all the game's DLC and the Inkling kids as playable characters. It also added the new, faster speed called 200cc, which pretty much just said fuck you to any kart that didn't increase handling. But hey, it's fun nonetheless. Also, shockingly, this game's online is actually playable and fun. I come back to it from time to time to play a few races. My only complaint is the lack of single-player content. But what do you expect, Mario Kart DS? Whoa, that was a lot, eh? Sorry about the gap between videos. It's taken a while to put this one together. But that was definitely enough Mario Kart for a lifetime. I think I'm gonna go play a more chocolate-based kart racing game.